Hello everyone. Today's video is about how to prepare for the Patents Agent exam which is coming up in May 2022. Very briefly about myself, I am a patent agent working in this field of patents for the past 15 years. I qualified my patent agent exam in 2006, 2007 and the tips I'm going to share in this video as well as the subsequent videos that I'll be making are born out of my experience of preparing for the exam and qualifying. Coming to the preparation part, the essentials for preparation are you need to refer to the Patents Act, the patents rules, and also there is a patent office manual that is available on the patent office website, which collates all the information that is there on the Patents Act and the patents rules regarding the different activities that you need to perform for getting a patent granted and maybe also the activities after a patent is granted. So the manual collates all that information at one place and provides you with a ready reckoner. So what I'll do is I'll share the link of these documents from where you can download it from the patent office website. What you can also do is buy a bare act from the market which has the Patents Act and the patents rule built in together. Just so as to understand the scheme of the patent legislation in a better manner, the Patents Act provides the applicable law regarding what needs to be done for obtaining a patent and even what needs to be done after you have obtained a patent. Patents rules provides the procedure that need to be followed so as to give effect to that law. The patents rules also provides the forms and the fee that you need to file along with patent request for a patent. So it would specify if there are some specific activities, you may have to file certain forms. You may have to file a definite fee, official fee that is provided under the patents rules. Just to give you an example, when you file an application for a patent, there are certain sections that are involved which define how the patent application should look like. Then there are specific rules which provide maybe the timelines or the manner in which the patent application needs to be filed. It would also specify the forms like the Form 1, Form 5, Form 2, which need to be filed along with a patent application, and also the fee that is applicable. So we'll deal with all these in detail in a short while, but I just wanted to give you a brief example. Coming now to how do you read the patent legislation. So if you see, the Patents Act in the contents defines different chapters that relate to what are the different activities that you can perform in respect of filing for a patent, or what activities need to be performed after you get a patent. And if you check the contents of the patents rules, you will find similar chapters being there. At some point of time, you'll also find that there is a one-to-one correspondence between the chapters in the patent rules and the chapters in the Patents Act. For example, if you see, Chapter 4 of the Patents Act relates to publication and examination of applications, and Chapter 4 of the patent rules also relates to publication and examination of applications. So what happens is the Patents Act specifies the applicable law regarding the publication of patent applications that it needs to be performed, and the patents rules provide in what manner that publication has to happen and what are the time limits, what is the fee if there is any, and all that stuff. The patent rules also has a first schedule. The first schedule defines what are the fee that needs to be paid for different activities. So if you see, this is the first schedule and it defines what are the different type of fee that need to be paid for a specific activity, what is the form that needs to be filed. So this is how the first schedule looks like. So in column 2, if you can see, this is the activity that is defined. This is in column 3 is the number of the form number which needs to be filed for that particular activity. So this activity relates to filing of the patent application, and uh, column 3 provides the form that needs to be filed, and the subsequent columns provide the applicable official fee that you need to pay when you are filing for a patent. So apart from the first schedule, there is also a second schedule in the patents rules which provides a list of all the forms and what are the applicable sections and rules, and for what activity or what activity that particular form relates to. So like here you can see, this is the second schedule and it lists out the forms. So it says that form number 1, the applicable sections and rules are section 7, 54, 135, rule 21, and the form is used as the application for grant of a patent. A good starting point would be to start reading the Patents Act from first chapter onwards. Go section wise, refer to each section, and then keep on searching for if there is any corresponding procedure or rule provided in the patents rule for that particular section that you are reading. So I'll give you an example after this, but that's how you have to read the Patents Act, patents rules, and then you refer to the first schedule or maybe the second schedule to check if there are any relevant forms or fee that are applicable in a view of the particular section or the rule that you are referring to. So let me explain to you by taking an example. So now let us see what is the provision related to publications in the Patents Act. So by checking in the index, I see that section 11A talks about publication of applications. So it just briefly reading through the section, it provides that no application for patent shall be published or shall be open to the public for a period that may be prescribed. But if you would note, it doesn't specify what that period is. It keeps that in mystery. But is it mystery as such? No. What you have to do is you have to go to the patents rules and see what is the relevant procedure prescribed for that. So if you see chapter 4 relates to publication of applications. So now this corresponds to that particular section. So coming to the publication aspect, if you'll see, Rule 24 talks about publication of application, and it specifies that the period which was referred to in subsection 1 of section 11A shall be 18 months. So coming back again to section 11A subsection 1, there was a mystery around what this period is. And if you read the corresponding rule 24, it specifies that period is 18 months. So when we read these two together, it means that no application for patent would be published for at least 18 months of filing of the application. So this is how you read the section and the rule in correspondence to each other, so as to finally derive as to what would be the exact procedure regarding publication. So if you read Rule 24 in the entirety, you will see that there is no fee or no form prescribed as such, so which would help you deduct that there's no fee applicable for the 18-month publication. Now coming back to the Patents Act, section 11A and subsection 2, it says that if the applicant wants the application to be published before the 18-month period, he can file a request with the controller so as to publish it as soon as possible. But again, it does not specify what is the procedure for that. Now let's see what is the corresponding rule or what is the corresponding procedure for that. So there's a rule 24A that has been provided in patents rule, which says that something about request for publication. It says that any request for publication which you want to make under subsection 2 of subsection 11A would have to be made on form 9. So again, reading 11A2 along with rule 24A, what you can deduct is that you can make a request for express publication before the expiry of the 18-month period which was specified in subsection 1, and that request can be made by you on form 9. Let us now see what Form 9 provides. So Form 9 provides, this is how the Form 9 looks like. It says see section 11A2, that's what we read, and Rule 24A. So it requires you to provide the name and nationality of the applicant, and you need to provide the patent application number, and along with the request that you need to get this published as early as possible. So this is how you read a particular provision. You read the section, then you read the corresponding rule. The corresponding rule may have a reference to a particular form. So now you have read the form as well. And if you remember what I told you in the beginning, there is a first schedule as well, which defines what is the applicable fee. So you can also need to check if there is any applicable fee for Form 9. So in first schedule, we'll check what would be the applicable fee. And if you go to entry 12, you'll see that request for publication under section 11A2 and Rule 24A on Form 9 has these applicable official fee. So this is now makes a sequence. This is like a sequence. You read the section, you read the corresponding rule, then you go on to what is the applicable form, and then you refer to first schedule to see if there is any applicable fee for that. So there may be a possibility that there is a form but no fee. So if you see entry 9 here for form 7A, you need not file any fee, but there is a form. And sometimes there may not be a particular form, but there may be a fee. So if you see entry 10, there is no form that is specified, but there is a specific fee. So this is one of the examples of how you need to approach a particular problem. However, if you have any questions regarding any of the provisions, please put them in the comments box and I'll be happy to answer those. Also, I've started this channel so as to share similar insights on different aspects of the Patents Act and the patents rules, and also about how to prepare well for the patent agent examination. So if you have liked the video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications regarding any upcoming videos. And also if you have any suggestions regarding what needs to be covered, what you may want to cover, please share that in the comments box. Thank you very much.